I've purchased a dbx286s from the internet. Got it off of eBay. And the idea behind this is that it's a sound processor, a mic preamp processor that allows, or should I say, changes the EQ on the microphone I'm using, which is a Rode NT1A, and hopefully should expand the higher frequencies and perhaps the mid-range, and does some loads of clever little tricks which are really good. And the idea is to increase, or should I say, I suppose increase the clarity of the microphone when transmitting over the HF bands through my radio amateur equipment. So I bought the box, which is a great bit of kit. I also bought a DI, which is the direct injection box, which allows me to put this system together with my TS 890. Now, the only downside I can see, and it's one that annoys me, is the fact that this being a rack-mounted piece of equipment, there's no power switch on the unit at all. So it's direct fed by the mains cable straight into the transformer and then obviously into the equipment. Now, I guess that's perfectly okay as long as you can isolate the rack or the box. But I mean, I don't want to leave this on all the time. And I don't like the idea of having this powered on without the radio powered on when I'm using, for instance, the VHF or the UHF equipment. So I want a way of isolating this unit without having to unplug it. So I've decided to put a rocker switch in the main case around here. I was going to put it in the back, but that means I'd have to take all of the circuit board and everything out of this unit. So instead of doing that, I thought I'd put it in the lid, because basically it's going to live on a shelf here, or if I do mount it under the desk, then that's not going to be in a very good position, is it? So let me think on that, but we'll see what we can do. So I've decided to put it in this point here, beside the mains input, and to protect the electronics in the inside, I've taped in a protective bag. So I'm just going to cut this with a small Dremel. I'll measure out the size of the switch first and then mark it, and then use the Dremel to cut it, and I'll put it in and we'll see how we go. Okay, switch is in. Ooh, nice. Let me just turn that round if I can. So I've got it stuck down with a bit of, there we can see that. Okay. So now what we need to do is change or move this brown one over to the bottom here, and then take a loop from there to the top switch, and we'll see if that then works as a switch. I won't bother connecting up the LED. Don't see the point. I'm not interested in that lighting up. I just wanted to switch. So now I guess it's time to suss out that side of it. Right, I found the right side spade connectors. Just got to make sure I'm hooking it up to the right side of the switch now. So it's in the on position, I think. It is. Cool. So I need to put a loop from there to there, put the lid back on, and then test it. So, should we come out a bit? Okay. Almost made the mistake there. That's good. I don't like these. I'll be the first to admit it. Don't like that. I should be super cautious. Marvellous. Okay. Thing to do now then is put the lid back on, screw it all back together, and let's connect it up. So there you go, back in place, switched on and working 100%. I can now isolate it, switch it off at the back as well as obviously at the mains. But the great thing is now that I can turn it off when I'm not using it, you know, that means that I've got another way of isolating something, which is always good. Right, let's see if we can get a cue. So
300 watts. So microphone back to you, Mike 0, Mike Sierra November, Fox 5, Papa Sierra Golf.
Yes, thank you, Laurent. The working conditions this end is a TS890, as you've probably seen from the QRZ page. The microphone is exactly the same one. It's a Rode NT1, I believe, but I'm using N-fed half wave as my antenna, and about 65-70 watts coming in your direction. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Thank you. It's nothing very special. I play with AIL microphone, the headset Pro Set Plus. I can switch between the HC5 and HC4. For now, it's the HC5.
I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I've put a microphone on my lapel, and I've put another microphone on the top of my radio next to the speaker. I've connected up the microphone, which is a Rode NT 1A, I think, and then that goes to the dbx286s audio or microphone preamp and processor, and that's on bypass at the moment. There is no processing or compressing, de-icing or anything. It's just flat, coming straight out the back of the preamp with a little bit of phantom power on. The only way I can demonstrate this is to turn the the Kenwood's output power down to 5 watts. Find a spare place, frequency where no one's using, which I think I've got one at the moment. And I'm just going to broadcast with the monitor on so that you can hear the microphone without the processing. So let's just try that a moment. Now, I might have to remove the lapel mic. Let me just do that. This is M0CSN, M0CSN, just testing. And what I'll do now is I'll turn on the processor. This is M0CSN, M0CSN, just testing, 1, 2, 3. So, this is M0CSN, just testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, M0CSN. Right, I think you can tell from that the audio quality and the frequencies response is much higher with the processor, and exactly the same levels, believe it or not, going through the transmitter. So there's it obviously works. I spoke to a guy in France, and he was very complimentary of the audio, as was a guy in Italy. So I'm very pleased with the purchase and very pleased with what's happening. So I have to tip my hat and say thank you very much to M0CSN, as he says, AKA Mr. Radio Deals, John, for talking to me about this the other day, and also to Pete, who suggested that I purchased it. So yeah, to both of them, I thank you very, very much indeed. Yeah, it works. So if you want to improve your audio, I suggest you have a look at one of these boxes. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching, but before you go, perhaps you'd like to comment on the audio now. This is the Audio Technica 2040. This is a dynamic microphone without the speech processor in line. I'm about to switch it on. Now perhaps you'd like to tell me what you think of this. Leave a comment and tell me which one you prefer, with the speech processor or without the speech processor. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye now.